Hey guys, welcome back. We're gonna set up the Atletico Madrid Diego Simeone guys formation here, or the tactic. So before I started, guys, I didn't play it with the Atletico Madrid. I played it with Espanyol, who are not in La Liga Adelante. We're gonna see the result first, guys, and just have something in mind before we go out there. I didn't try this formation one place or made it in one other team and just use it here. I said, okay, I'm going to use this game to make a Diego Simeone tactic as similar as possible. And I watch. I love to watch La Liga, so this is gold for me in a way. And the game I got most out of was Atletico Madrid playing Valencia. You can say always that Diego Simeone, guys, have been under a little bit of pressure that he doesn't play offensively enough, but you can see this year he's playing more offensively. Why? Because he have the players. And also you have to have in mind before we go to the tactic part here, guys, afterwards, Athletic, when you are setting up a formation, a tactic in Football Manager, you cannot look at the roles and, oh, he's a striker, he should be there. It's not to make them move as they do in the reality. You have to place them a little bit different. You have to give them different roles, because if you are not watching the game on 2D or a 3D almost the whole match, you really don't know how they're moving. If that was so easy, you could just do like this. Goalkeeper, sweeper goalkeeper in Barcelona. Left back is wing back in attack, because it's Jordi Alba is a complete wing back in attack. And then you can just set them up as you've seen them, and you think it will play at Barcelona. No, you have to tweak it. Things are different here and there, okay? That is reality. This is not reality. This is simulating. So to make it simulate, to be like as similar as possible, I had to do some adjustments. Okay, guys. One thing is, we won the league. We got promotion, and I really got tired because it was 42 games. And you know about the Corona situation in the game. The games are really pressed after each other, so you get a lot of games. But as you can see, we lost 5 games. I think we lost most of those games in the start when I was tweaking, and in the end, when I'm making a tactic, I really don't care about the friendly games. I just jump over it because I really don't get that much out of them. I don't care about that. I'm just looking to get my formation and style and tactic to go in the season, because I think that's really more real life. In the preseason, they just need to warm up the players. In a way, it's not true if you are playing the game, because then you have a tactic and you are the coach. This was only for me to get the tactic done. Okay, so we can see also that, guys, stages here. We can see that we conceded 40 goals. No, sorry, that was goal difference. 35 goals. So only one team conceded more goals than us, and that was Almeria. And during this league is also this many games. It's very cool this year, guys, because it's very good teams. Almeria, the rich club, Rayo Vallecano, Girona, Vistuani there. Las Palmas is good. Mallorca, Malaga, Leganes is good. Real Sporting is good. Real Zaragoza. You remember Deportivo La Coruña was in this division? They got relegated. I also game with them. But anyway, let's keep. Logroñez is here too. Okay. So this was it. We scored 75 goals. And this formation, this tactic worked the best against the better teams, not that much against the less good teams. In the cup, we defeated Atletico Madrid, guys. That was cool. We defeated Atletico Madrid. You can see here, Atletico Madrid, Espanyol. We won 1-0. We even missed the first penalty, then we scored at the rebound of the penalty. As you can see here, guys, for example, playing against a La Liga team that is very good, Atletico Madrid, we produced X factor here, guys. X shots, 2.61. They had 0.80. Even though they have 4 shots on goal, it's not so. But the penalty gives you a lot of point here. But anyway, 16 shots. But the ball possession, as you can see, they had the possession. But I think we made well. We was defeated in the cup against Atletico Bilbao. Why I'm showing you this is because this is against La Liga teams, and I think most of you guys will be playing in a La Liga team. Okay. So we are a Liga Atlante team. We are playing very well against better teams. That's in a way the starting history of Atletico Madrid's and Diego Simeone's tactic and formation history. We last year, as you can see, we were leading 1-0, 88 and 90.5. This really kills me. Okay, the formation, guys. Oh, we can, yeah, formation. Yeah, okay, we go to formation. Okay, don't kill me. Anyway, because I know you're looking at this guy. I'm gonna tell you, I didn't use him always as this. It's based on who's playing here in this position. Second, this is played sometimes Shadow Striker, mostly Shadow Striker. But Almada, when I used him, when he played Shadow Striker, he did it totally different. So I had to tweak him. So mostly I used it as a Shadow Striker, and I'm going to tell you why things happened. Okay, but anyway, guys, we play a 4-4. We are arguing that is a 4 and is a 4. But in defense, this is more 4-4-1-1 in defense. In offense, it's more 4-4-2. In offense, when they have the ball, he comes up here, he's up here, and he's here. And you can see this year sometimes Lemar, for example, playing as a striker, he's roaming. The thing with those two up front, they're roaming, okay? You have one of them that is more spearhead in front, and you have the other one that maybe sometimes goes more wider and is the Griezmann, and what the other one is Morata or Diego Costa, okay? This year is different again. So, and then you have one of those wingers at this side, one side, different from game to game. For example, Lemar coming here, but he's more offensive, and he's also taking part in here, but he's the player that coming from behind, and he's adding himself up. He's not going wide, guys, he's going in through here. You want to push your players in here, and you get your wing backs up here, then you cross it. And sometimes you cross it, other times you go through the middle. Where does Atletico Madrid don't lose the ball? Wide areas of the field. They don't lose the ball there. Because there are so few players there, if they lose it, they're going to get a one-on-one and they're going to get a counter against them. Remember, it's all about risk when you come to Atletico Madrid. It's all about risk. Don't take unnecessary risk, okay? Even when they have the ball, don't take the unnecessary risk. Finish the attack or lose it if you're losing it here at this part of the field. So that's why the fullbacks, if you can look at Atletico Madrid, they don't dribble. They come high up in the field, but they don't dribble that much, okay? Anyway, let's go back to the formation. I'm taking away Ali. He's a very good talent, but we use the Thomas here and we use Diego here. So we are more like this. Okay. Mostly when I use Diego, most of the time, not always, I use him as a false 9 here, and I tweaked him to go a little bit wider and things like that. Sometimes I use him as a shadow striker here or as an advanced playmaker. And Almada normally used here. Okay, but if you look at this part, we start with this. Almada can also be playing inverted wingback. Wide midfielder with the same duties I have set here. I'm going to go through it later. Because if Llorente sometimes plays here, he plays like this and he moves into channels. But again, as a second wave. These two players don't go. Box-to-box midfielder is a little bit too offensive in the way of movement, but since you don't have the ball that much, he will not moving up that much. You want those three. You have three guys that you spearhead, and you have the number 4 that is this one that coming in. The rest comes on set pieces, okay? So how did it go? We playing a central defender in stopping, because this year they use a little bit. What is his name? Hermoso. He's a little. They are a little bit. What is the team of Atletico Madrid? Just give me 2 seconds, guys. Players. I know him. You have Hermoso, yes, as a left back, and he's not that offensively. And you have Jose Gimenez, as you can see, a more aggressive player, not that good in jumping reach. So you're gonna understand why now. Okay, so if you can look at in the games, he will sometimes in the build-up of the opponent, not like counter-attacking, be following the player high up in the field, and he will sometimes even try to win the ball. He goes on. So he's a center defender he's a center defender that's dropping the game here as a stopper. He doesn't have anything, so I know I haven't messed up, but this one have. So he's a center defender that is stopping. Okay, the goalkeeper is a sweeper goalkeeper in defense. I always use that. You're using a counter attack or not, because you need that, because you need to get out here and get the ball. Okay. Anyway, the left side, the right center defender is a normal center defender. I don't use a ball playing defenders, even though they use some counter attacking from there, because I don't use ball playing out of defense. And therefore I'm afraid of they will shuffle it. It's not shuffling up that much as it was before, okay? Hoofing the ball up that much. Okay, anyway, at the right side, so you have to also show what is your offensive side, what's your defensive side when you're playing Atletico Madrid, right? You don't have two offensive sides. You had before Filipe Luis, you had Juanfran at the right, so one of the fullbacks always goes higher up, the other ones don't go up but comes up as well, okay? So I chose my side to be the right side. That in the real life, I think he's maybe more a fullback in support, but I had to go with the wingback in support too, because fullback in support is good, but it got too messy, too much space between these two players, and I didn't get involved in at all. So in this system, I had to use wingback in support. Okay, at the right side, guys, you have this one. You have Miguelun I had to use, and you can know in Atletico Madrid, if you're playing with them or a different team, this is the more offensive player. So here you have also inverted winger, or you can use a wide midfielder. And we're gonna go look at the roles later on, guys. Use a box-to-box midfielder. You can also use a center midfielder in support. Box-to-box, a little bit more roaming, but in real life, I would say this is a center midfielder in support. But to make it happen, I had to use a box-to-box midfielder because it became too little bit just movement from behind, especially from the right side here. But you can use them in center midfield in support. It's no problem. Deep line play midfielder and deep line playmaker in defense, and then you have an inverted winger in attack. So I chose this one to be the more offensive and this one to be more offensive. So remember, they don't have two offensive at one side. So one of the more offensive, if the offensive winger is here, then they have the more offensive fullback in the other side of the game. Okay, normally this is Trippier in a way. Okay, then is this guy coming up here. Then you have this guy as an advanced playmaker. Why I'm going to tell you now why I used him sometimes as advanced playmaker is I wanted to get the ball in here, and this is the main creative guy of the field. This is the, but when you play as you play here, guys, it will not be like a sitting here. So shadow striker could also go, but you need to have, you can have him as a false 9, but defensively it will ruin a little bit. They will, in the game it will work very well to have him there, but it worked even better for me to have him here in the game and as a reality. So if you absolutely want him there, go there and use, but then you have to use in a way a Trequista or a false 9 if you want it to be a similar, and Trequista is not aggressive enough without the ball, so you will lose that high pressure. By using him here in the defensive part, it got much more realistic, and he comes, as long as this player don't go deep to get the ball, collect the ball, and plays 1-2s, he's a brilliant player to have here. And then you have the advanced forward, he's moving, he's going straight forward, Murata in a way. You could also use him as a pressing forward in support, but then your link up will be not that well. Okay, anyway, because you want to get the ball also to not too much to this guy, you want the ball get to the final 3 guys, so you could use this guy also as an advanced playmaker and use him as a pressing forward or something like that, because the thing is, you want the ball, you need the ball, don't hoof it directly here, therefore we have him here, and you also want some players who can link it up here, so not all the balls come back to this Dart guy who's playing at the deep line playmaker in the left, okay? We are playing positive, guy. Why are we playing positive? Play positive because you want, when you're playing as Atletico Madrid, when they win the ball and they are going forward, you want them to take some risk because they don't want to be tiki-takaing up there. You can sometimes even go to attacking here, okay? We are using shorter passing, guys, when you're playing positive, fairly shorter passing. And the reason is, if you go direct, it can go, if you go like this standard in a way or direct, I think it will go too fast for the players, and again you can suddenly be who everyone is starting to get the ball forward. Remember, it's rigged in Atletico Madrid. In Atletico Madrid, the offensive players have the job of scoring goals when you have the ball, and the creative players make the chance for them to score the goals, and defensive players, they defend. They just give the ball to those creative players, that is at this point Vargas and Diego, and a little bit Dardar and Miguelin when they come up here, you know. The other players just stand, they're defending, they're giving the ball away simply to these players, and they are doing it. And when those players get the ball, they do something with the ball. You don't get it back and forward, you go through, you make it happen in a way, okay? So Therefore, we are going shorter because we don't want everyone to take a role in the build-up of the game too much. Make those unnecessary risks from defense. We are playing very narrow. We could also go even more narrow in this because Atletico players standing very close to each other. Again, it's about risk. In Atletico Madrid, everything is about risk. You don't want to take too much risk when you have the ball, okay? So by standing more together and you're playing through the middle, as you can see, a focus play through the middle here, you will, in a way, lose the ball in the central areas of the field. You could sometimes go focus play down the right and left, but then you will start maybe lose the ball more at the wide areas. Again, in the game, I don't think you can solve it, but if you're playing Atletico Madrid, you don't want to lose the ball that much up here. You're using overlap at the right because you even want this guy to be even more, what you can tell me, because when I use him as a wide midfielder, I didn't use the overlap because he didn't went up that much. But I want him to be a little bit, this is more about his mentality, to not be that much offensive because you want him to come higher up in the field. Okay guys, you want to run a defense, of course, and you want to hit early crosses because you have two players going forward here, right? Not maybe now, but you normally have. So they hit the ball fast from wide areas behind the defensive line as well. Sometimes they make crosses, sometimes they play cross ball behind the defensive line. And we want also to take on defenders, and that's the reason, because in the final third, this is for the final third, right? So what you're going to do then in the final third, you're going to dribble more, and you want to finish the attacks. The creative players, if they keep the ball too much, these defensive players will move up, and suddenly we have a mess. Finish the attack, guys. Okay, we go to the translation. We don't they don't use counter pressing that much. And that's why they have so many players in the middle here, because when they lose the ball in the middle, there are a lot of players there, so they can win the ball, not by pushing always there, but there are so many players that with simple pressure they can win the ball, but they are not going gegenpress. It's hard to find the balance there, but the thing is, Atletico Madrid, when they use these wide players coming up here, for example, and make a cross, the cross ends up here. As you can see, then every player almost is 3 players inside the box normally. They have up to 3 players outside the box defending here, and they even have the opposite wing back coming a little bit more deeper here. So you win the second ball, but you're not going all in with counter pressing. And it's also very important to remember, they don't use counter pressing here. The reason they fill up this space is when they finish the attack fast, and then don't want you to counter them through the middle. They want you to take one pass out here, and then they regroup. So go hard, then they regroup, okay? I tried, guys. And you can see here, distribute quickly. You don't need this one. I made it because my goalkeeper started taking his own shows. Diego Lopez here, the legend. He started doing his own stuff. So I thought, okay, this guy is a good goalkeeper. I can trust him. So he went over the defense, and sometimes he didn't went it. So you can go like this as well, guys, depending on how the goalkeeper is playing. Out of possession, you want to make a counter-attacking space here, so you take standard here and defensive line higher. Atletico Madrid, you are going not that wide, and the reason is you want to be compact in the middle, press the opponent out wide, and then counter through the middle later on. And they have players that are comfortable of defending. We're gonna look at the PI soon, guys, so you can see there too. And you get stuck in, and these two was a little bit hard for me to show, because one, use tighter marking. Tighter marking is something we often think about in the offensive systems, in a way, when you lose the ball, high pressure, like Leeds are doing, man to man, you're going in. But no, okay, so when you don't hit this button, counter pressing, so, and you also have the line of engagement a little bit lower, so the marking will be in this place here. So Atletico plays close to the player, but they're not running with the players. It's in a way marking in the zone, we call it in a way in the football. That is, when the player comes into your zone, you're marking him, but you're not walking with him all day long. So that's the deal. So I hope I made it by using this one. So when you look at 2D, this is that's similar. And pressing intensity, in a way, Atletico Madrid use something called LLWV in defensive part. That means you lead the opponent, keep leading them. That's the first L. Then you lead, then you lock. That's the second L. What does that mean? You're locking them. So when they are at the areas they want to win the ball, they lock you. And when they come to the lock mode, there is no going back to leading again. When they lock, they are going to win the ball. or make a fall on you. So LLV, okay? So LLWV in a way. So that's the part, you know. So you lead them in a way, you lock them off, and then you try to win the ball. And they are not afraid of giving away too many balls here. So, but mostly they are leading, right? So when they can smell it, they are very cynical guys. If they see you, knowing your weak point in a team here, they will hunt you down. So they make this zone here very, very, very tight. They mark it, and they, as you can see, it's very small. You see, the width is also very, very, very small here, and also is very small from this side. So this becomes a very little part here, and they hunt you down in there. But so this is for me a little bit hard to take, because sometimes I think, okay, when I take more urgent, they start to go a little bit too much in defending. Remember, they're very smart players. They lead you on plays where you want you, and then they will hunt you down. So they get stuck in is also, why did I have to take that? But when they first go in to win the ball, they go hard. So my hope was, okay, I touched this one. It's not that saying every player is going in every duel hard. But when it's needed, when you try to win the ball, they will go hard. And it seems that it works. The system works well in for Diego Simeone Football Manager 2021, guys. You can see very similar goals and in the game too. Okay, anyway, the PIs, guys, the advanced forward, he will roam more. He's going freely. He's a spearhead. He's getting tackles harder and marked tighter. Because when it becomes, when the space becomes, remember, every player of yours can do that because you have players with high teamwork, right? So Diego Costa works life out there, and this is your Felix here, in a way, or Lemar. When Lemar starts playing striker, sometimes he's going more direct passing, because you don't want him to, when he gets the ball, you want it to get forward, right? He's one of the creators, and roam from position. Of course, you have to do that. Close down more. He will close down more in, because they two goal. He will close down more, but since he is behind this player, that's what I was mentioning defensively, it will not be too high, okay? If I use him there, it will be wrong. So it will work very well. He will helping you to win the ball a lot on the sides, and you have to use opposition instructions to win the ball where you want to win. Okay, he closed down more. He tackles harder and mark tighter. Because normally this guy will fall down on the defensive midfielder, and sometimes, and then he can take out that player. That's my thought. So these two players don't need to push up too much. They have to keep shape here. So he takes out the defensive midfielder. Here I want him to cross less often, because this is in a way like Koke, for example. I comes in here, gives the ball, passing the ball. Lorente, for example, and he sometimes make movement behind the defensive line. Okay. I also want him to create. If he crosses on the far post, he get forward, because he makes some move, guys, into channels here in sit narrow. If you are using wide midfielder, remember to hit the sit narrow even then, and marks tighter. Normally comes at the fullbacks that is coming on overlap here. Vargas at the left is taking more risk. Again, he's very similar to this player at his roles. His PIs and roams from position. So you get him up, gets the ball forward. And you have the Dardar, the defensive play, deep lying playmaker. Come on. There you go. He closed down more. That's the thing. Again, you close down more. And this guy the same almost. Take more risk. Why does he take more risk? Because you don't want him to get... he comes often at this space here, okay, between those two lines, between the creators and defensive players. I just want him to take the ball. When I didn't hit the take more risk, this player especially, he just keep playing it back, and maybe because this is a deep line playmaker, and he closes down more. At the right, you have the more offensive fullback, because you have the winger here. Then he's crossing more often. He's crossing from deep. You can maybe take this away, guys. If your fullback, wingback crosses that not enough, and you're losing the ball a little bit, take away cross from deep. No, sorry. Of course, keep crossing deep. The Chris, I am far post. Sorry, forget everything I said. I was someplace else. Crossing deep, because you want the crosses that come from here. Of course you want it. I thought in 1 second deep was here, but that's by line. Deep is here, so this is right. Dribble less, because yes, he get the ball, he comes forward here sometimes, but you don't want him to dribble and lose the ball one-on-ones in here, okay? You want to be compact here. You want to lose the ball at these areas here. shoot less often so you don't lose the ball unnecessarily. Sometimes the backs comes up and start shooting from all angles. Stay wider. He's staying wide. Same thing with the left side. Cross more often, dribble less, shoot less often, stay wider. But cross deep is not here. Okay? And because when he comes up, I want him to give the ball to Vargas in here, and Vargas can do the things he does. Do we have anything else here? We have this guy, Arejo. This is a very good guy. You should buy him. You should loan him when you're playing in the not that very good teams. This guy is good. From Barcelona. And okay, anyway, sorry. He's closing down more and he's marking tighter. So that's it, guys. That's it. So you can see the rules. How did we deliver players? The striker should score the most goals. This guy, 32 goals. Raúl de Tomás, old Real Madrid player. So if you have a little bit faster player here that moves off the ball, movements is a little bit better and his work rate is a little higher. Better. If you have a little better player, guys, you will score more goals. You will score more goals. Okay, and you can see that he scored the most goals and Vargas scored the most. Maybe he should score a little bit more, but you have players that, for example, in Atletico Madrid, like Felix, so you can use Felix here. And if you use Felix as a shadow striker here, I think he will score a lot of goals for you. And you can see that also you can see the key passes. Diego was very good in assist making. He had 12 assists in the league and 16 assists, I think, 13 assists totally. So he was a good player. I got him for £96,000. That's almost nothing. So he still have 1 or 2 years left. He's a good player still. And his physique was not that bad. Almande, as you can see here, these players also made something happen. I liked the left. And this is not that extremely good players. I'm missing some pace in the team. If I had a little bit more pace, guys, I could see in the game we could really score some more goals through the middle. We didn't get those movements. So, yeah, as you can see, 5 goals, 13 goals. 5 assists, 13 goals. Guys, I hope you liked the video. If you like to hit the like button. If you want something else, just say so and I will try to make that happen. Thank you very much, guys, and stay safe. Bye.